Our second album was Conspiracy Number 5. A lot of people have asked us, where did you get the name Conspiracy Number 5? And do we want to tell everybody?
Oh, sure.
Do we want to
Come
share
on,
the
go.
secrets?
I mean, basically,
I still don't really know.
the secret is we spent a lot of time watching the movie JFK on our tour bus.
Way too much time.
Way too much time, and we got really into it. You know, at the end there are these books they list as the credits are rolling, and so we started. I mean, we had stacks of books. We're reading about all these like government conspiracies, and I just went down this whole rabbit trail of that. So we decided that we're gonna, make that the theme of our second record, at least visually. It's going to be this conspiracy thing.
So we were looking up in a huge dictionary that was at the studio when we were recording. And, there wasn't internet back then. At least we didn't know about the internet.
And every studio has a huge dictionary.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was really thick. And so we're looking through and we see conspiracy. So we start reading, and it was one of those very, very defined dictionaries. And so there's 10 definitions for each word. And so the fifth definition said something to the effect of, a conspiracy is when people gather together to accomplish something. And it's something like that.
Right, yeah.
And we thought, well, that's cool. That's what we're trying to do. And so we called it Conspiracy Number 5 because it was the fifth definition.
Conspiracy Number 5, we had just finished the first album, which was three attempts at making it, and then the final one being the one with the bus on the cover. But so this was like the first time I remember us, okay, we really have like a budget to do this. We have producers we can talk to. Like, this is a legit chance to really make a record. And so we got in touch with this guy, Sam Taylor, who had produced a band called King's X and worked with them for a number of years. And he'd worked with, I think, ZZ Top at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which, so there were some things that we had heard of. It really legitimized him. And we met with him. He was a super cool guy and came to Atlanta, and we did this record. But it was, again, we're just like wide-eyed wonder to the whole experience because we had not really done that in that capacity. And the songwriting was, I feel like the whole songwriting process was way different because it was more concentrated into blocks of time where we're writing a bunch of new songs. Because when a band when they put their first album out, it's all the stuff they've been working on over the years, just playing live. I mean, that's really how you learn those songs, is you play them live. But when you're writing your second album, you're not playing those songs live. You're having to come up with it in a room. And so to finally get to go and do that, it was challenging. It was super challenging, but it was, and we learned a lot about what to do, what not to do. Mm-hmm. But, it was quite an experience for us and a very different album than the first one.
Yeah, I think very different. In a way, we were trying to be very different from our first record. Part of that was, as David said, that we had been doing some of these songs for years now. And so we had and I think alternative music was growing, and when our record came out, we were getting compared. It's always when you come out with something, everybody's trying to compare you to somebody else. So we were trying to do our best to go, no, we're our own thing, and try to come up with something different and fresh for us at least. And it really, even to this day, a lot of people's favorite record. It's funny because it's our least selling record to date. And it did pretty well at the time, and yet so many people, it's a lot of people's favorite record of ours.
I think it was an important record too, in that if we had just gone back to the drawing board and made a second album that sounded just like the first one, I think, people have been like, all right, we got Third Day figured out, let's move on to the next thing. But I think the fact that we were willing to take some risks, even, do some things that may or may not have worked out depending on who you ask, I think that set us up for a long career by doing that. So, it's a different record, probably different than anything we've ever recorded, but I think we're all still really proud of it.
So when we came out with Conspiracy Number 5, we started doing the photo shoot for that, and we were doing the video for You Make Me Mad. All of a sudden, I had blonde hair, like just almost.
Just woke up one day.
Just woke up more. It was because I had been swimming in the Salton Sea from the Consuming Fire video.
It all fell out, and then it grew back blonde.
Exactly. No, I don't know why. I remember I wanted to dye my hair red. I thought I'm gonna be a redhead. But my wife has red hair, and she's like, no, just one redhead in the family, please. And so I dyed it blonde, and yet still had a dark goatee. And I remember we played on the Doves, and I had these, it's very fashionable now, but back then I had these like old school grandpa glasses, and the Doves were live, I think. I can't remember. I think they might have been live then. and everybody starts, well, I didn't have a cell phone then, but I'm getting home from the Doves, and nobody knew about my blonde hair. So like my mom's calling me, my sister's calling me, going, "What is the deal? What happened to you?" I don't think I'm going to go blonde again. I don't think that's going to happen.
I think another thing that was going on during this era, especially with the song "You Make Me Mad," is we had had some success at mainstream rock radio with "Nothing at All" on our first album. So "You Make Me Mad" was a song that we all had rallied around, and the label liked, and our mainstream affiliate at the label liked it a lot, thought it could be another single. So we actually went in and re-recorded it with a rock producer named Dennis Herring, and a different version than the album version. And so because of that, that hope that it was going to be this big rock song, we decided to make that be the first, and maybe it might have been the only video we did from that album.
I love that video. You know, there's something kind of quirky about it, where it's kind of like the spy theme, and we're in suits, and that kind of carried over from the idea of conspiracy number 5, and the whole JFK, you know, 1960s kind of era. So there was something pretty cool and funky about that video.
And then the director went on to be like a big time.
Yeah, he's done a lot of TV and movie
director.
stuff. Yeah.
It was a lot like making the album, where it felt like the next step up in the production and the quality of it all. I mean, it was the first time we'd had, well, it was the second video, but there were so many cool effects we'd seen in other music videos that we wanted to try to achieve, and we kind of did that in "You Make Me Mad." So it was a fun experience.
One thing I remember about the video is that we were in these suits, probably these cheap wool suits, and all of us were sweating so much. It was so hot in that building. There was no AC. It was so hot in Nashville that day where we were recording it, that we were getting sweat spots all over our shirts, and they go like, "Man, this does not look good." So I don't know about you guys, but I had to get my shirt and dunk it in water. Yeah, and get the whole thing wet so that it would stay one color the whole time. So that was kind of weird.
So check it out, Third Day, "You Make Me Mad" video.